My name is Silvia Mazzini. I'm from Intex. I don't know if you know Intex. Is an Italian company, high-tech company, developing software in many different markets like space, defense, telecommunication, transportation, such as railways and automotive. Intex has also a consultancy division. I'm part of this division, and I'm involved in methods and processes for the development of high critical systems where safe and reliability are relevant aspects to be considered. So I'm presenting here a topic that is related on the movement, how to go from top case to Polarsys. This presentation is related with the keynote speech we have had this morning from the director of Eclipse, the Eclipse Foundation. So how many of you knows what is top case in this room? So, and are you users? Okay, this is nice. So, what is TopCased? TopCased is an open platform for critical software development. It is mainly related with the model-based, model-driven development. In fact, the TopCased has a number of model editors inside, simulator engines. There are some analysis tools. There are model-to-model transformation capabilities, model-to-text. There are formal checking and some mechanisms for configuration, change management, requirements management, and so on. So, so the TopCased has been developed since 2004. And more or less it has finished in 2011, because this project was founded by French research fundings. And this is something really interesting, that France was able to develop such a big project. And today, this project has ended, and there is a new project that is called OPEES. So just a slide to say that there is a number of tools in TopCased that I don't want to explain to you, but mainly is the main modeling languages supported in TopCased today are UML and SysML, and there was also editing for ADL, that is another modeling language, for ADL language, and recently there has been the integration of MDT Papyrus for UML and SysML, and that's on. So the big problem faced by TopCased is how to be maintained a long time, for a long period. For instance, one of the sponsors of TopCased is Airbus, and have you seen this slide this morning? They have the Airbus has a very long life cycle, and they need a very long-term availability of the tools that are used for development. The same topics is well known also in the space domain. Probably not more than 70 years, but at least 30 years are required for tools that are used for the development of software going on board of spacecraft, for example. So today there is running an OPEES project, a project called the OPEES, an ITA project that is trying to develop what is needed to obtain a long-term support for projects like top-cased. So the effort is try to define a governance for this, for the software developed, having a vision and a roadmap for development that is able to improve the tools, to put innovation in the tools during time, but also to maintain the tools. So the idea is to have top-cased in a repository with a maturation process that can enable to have tools that are also qualified, because these tools are conceived for critical software, and this tool can be improved, can be get innovation from research projects, but on the other hand, there shall be a system engineering process able to extend the tools when it is needed, because users like Airbus, ADS, or CNES have strong requirements, and most of them need to be developed on top of the available tools. So there shall be an ecosystem of users defining the evolution of the tools, and a number of service providers that are able to improve the tools. So this is the kind of ecosystems that they want, that this OPEES initiatives is defining. So mainly they want to move from to a user-centric strategies where tools are adapted to user needs. So there shall be 80%, for example, of features that are common in tools, but there are also an estimation of 20% of improvements that have to be implemented for the users, for specific users, and they require support from support providers. So the OPEES initiatives as defined as the solution that they have met is to define a Eclipse Industrial Working Group. The name of this working group is Polarsys, and they want to be based on Eclipse Foundation to provide legal entity and infrastructure. And in addition, they want to they are defining, or they mostly have defined their own governance of the tools that are part of this working group. So I'll try to explain you something about this working group. So they want to have open source, but also open innovation, but also they want to rely on assessment of maturity of tools and long-term availability. And the target is for tools for the development of critical embedded systems. So Eclipse will provide the open source collaboration infrastructure, in particular the collaboration infrastructure and the intellectual property management are the main basis provided by Eclipse. And, but also there is this new concept of long-term support in Polarsys, and this approach wants to be a vendor-neutral approach for long-term availability that can ensure best practices, but there is a build process that is not locked-in by vendor, and so essentially the initiative is to provide an ecosystem for long-term support. A special concept developed in Polarsys is qualification of tools, because there are tools that shall support critical development, and we know that today the new emerging standards for critical development, for instance, we have today the DO 178C that is that requires qualification for tools. The same is for ECSS, the standard in the space, in the European Space Agency. And Polarsys will provide qualification documents that can be adapted for the different certification processes. And there will be, there is some definition of a qualification governance. For providers in Polarsys, it is considered as an ecosystem. There is a labeling process for service providers that are committed or that are skilled for Polarsys. So this is to ensure that it is provided a proven expertise for the development of the technology. And also a change control board is defined in Polarsys to manage the change process and prioritize, so to maintain, strongly maintain the tools, prioritize new development and fixes, and to develop project management for the tools. This change control board will be driven by the end user needs. There is this concept of technology readiness level provided that is taken from main standards. So at the end, this is new generation of open system conceived as an ecosystem. The ecosystem is a community that puts together, that is user-centric, puts together end users and software and technology developers. Today there is Polarsys, but there are other industrial working groups that have been developed on top of the Eclipse with the same criteria. So my presentation is to invite to join this Polarsys initiative or similar initiatives in Eclipse. That's all.